Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this grudge match. It's going to be the Dwarves facing off against the Chaos Dwarves, Grombrindle versus Astrogoth, and it is going to be a Royal Rumble, I can assure you of that. Now, as far as the army goes, we're going to be going with two cannons, because the Chaos Dwarves have some of the best anti-infantry cannons in the game. In the magma cannons, they're insanely good, so if I didn't bring cannons, and he had come in with magma cannons here, I would be getting absolutely trash canned. They do so much damage, have really, really good range, so I think the cannons in this matchup, especially in land battle, probably going to be mandatory. But again, you can also use gyrocopters and other things like that. But it's a tricky one. Front line is going to be Dwarf Warriors with Great Opens. I figured Chaos Dwarves are armored, so having a little bit of AP would be good. And even if you did go with a swarm of like chaff units, laborers, whatever, these guys still have enough armor and decent combat stats, so they could go fisticuffs. In the back, we got Rangers. Rangers are there to shoot against the Bull Centaurs and the Kadai Fireborn. Kadai Fireborn do insane anti-infantry damage, and also the Bull Centaurs do as well, but they both have like kind of medium armor, not like super heavy armor. A lot of the monsters outside of the Kadai Destroyer for the Dragonborn, Fusroda, for the Chaos Dwarves have kind of 50-60 armor, so I think that the bows are probably going to be preferential in a lot of situations. In the back, more Dwarf Warriors, cannons, double Slayers to prevent some of the monsters from flanking in, blasting charges, and our hero squad. So this was a couple games into Anticity and I's practice session. We did realize that Astrogoth was an absolute raid boss and was super, super hard to kill, especially him teamed up with his little goblin homie here, Gordaz. So I went with Grombrindle as well as Felix Jaeger, hoping that their combined armor piercing and dueling capabilities would be enough to fight against those guys. Now for the army here of the Great Anticity, it is going to be a great Taurus up in the sky, backed up here by Astrogoth Iron Hand. We do have Gordaz, the Backstabber, the Infernal Castellan, and this is kind of a cool tech against gyrocopters. This guy's got a long-range armor-piercing sniper rifle, also does have anti-large fighting, so if I had gone with Thoric, who's super meta, he might be able to do some work. It would be something to look at here. The rest of the army, guys, and these things are so foul. Not the basic Chaos Dwarf Warriors. They're pretty whatever. They're good. They're even keel. But these Infernal Ironsworn, I did not realize it, but they have armor-piercing blasting charges, guys, that do so much damage. You guys are in for a treat. Normally, that is the big advantage Chaos Dwarves have over the the Dwarves have over the Chaos Dwarves, is that you have accessible blasting charges on cheap bodies like Dwarven Miners and things like that. But in this case, the Chaos Dwarves have to pay a super high premium at 1,300 to get blasting charges, but they are really, really strong. So it's going to be Infernal Ironsworn backed up by Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Bull Centaur Renders on the outside. Obviously, Dwarves are all armored infantry, so having the Bull Centaurs with the dual axes is going to be a very, very good choice. Although arguably there could be a case to be made for the shielded variant, but I do think that these guys are the way. And he's going to be wrapping up his army here with some Goblin Laborers, and that is going to be it. So the battle is on, and the Skyhammer is going to be coming in. They don't have a ton of options outside of like blunderbusses, which the Dwarves can outrange to shoot down such gyros. So I think gyrocopter spam could be quite nice here. We do get a decent bombardment here on the Infernal Ironsworn, taking about 20 models down in tandem with our cannons in the back. And now Astrogoth's going to be moving up. And, I think, man, of all the games I've seen with this guy, he is really, really good. And honestly, I think could be one of the best lords in the game. He's really, really quick. And let me show you some of the neat abilities he does have. So we look at Astrogoth. He does have the Stone Mantle. So basically, as he takes damage, he turns to stone, essentially. He gets 30% physical resist and loses up to 10% speed, but that's a super worthy trade. So he becomes like a monster to kill. And on top of that, he probably does have the Hellhammer. Yeah, that's one of the abilities we found to be really good. It's just kind of like a pendulum effect. It's a hammer, but it works the same way as pendulum and does some good work. Now, pulling back here, we did get a little bit of a bombardment run, and the cannons are going to be turning outside to start shooting at the Bull Centaurs, which are looking to raid into my lines. Bull Centaurs, of course, are large targets, so the cannons are going to be quite happy to shoot at them. While the Skyhammer is also going to be moving out this direction and just kind of drawing the Great Taurus through the bowfire. That was kind of my game plan, just to do laps here and have my two Rangers put a little bit of hurt in there. So in the front, you could tell that your boy Astrogoth really, really looking to party. He wants to get somebody with the Hellhammer. He wants to charge in, do a little bit of gooning. We also see Gordaz Backstabber coming in, the Chaos Dwarf Sigvald, getting blasted and suppressed up there by the Skyhammer a little bit, which certainly felt pretty good. And the battle is on. It's going to be quite a duel of fates here. Blasting charges are going to be moving up, getting ready to meet them. And on the flanks, we have our Dwarf Warrior set up. And we do also use the Smoke Bomb of the Great Taurus. So the Great Taurus is going to be slowed by 60%. So hopefully the bows will be able to party. And now we got our duel. We got Felix Jaeger and the White Dwarf doing battle with Astrogoth, the evil Keebler elf here. Oh, he breathes fire. Holy shit, I didn't see that. But also the Hellhammer is going to be coming down. So check out this damage. It's pretty good. I don't know if he overcasted it, but it's a really, really good spell. So it goes through and nails both those units, but it's expensive. It's appropriately priced. It's like 18 Winds of Magic or something. If you overcast it, which I'm pretty sure he did, I think it's like closer to 22 Winds of Magic, so it's very pricey. But look at the blasting charges from the Infernal Ironsworn. And I felt like they didn't even use all their ammo there. Now, I use my blasting charges here, and it actually hits Gordaz. I think they just had them on manual fire there, so it was a little bit of a blunder on my part, but honestly, he didn't do bad damage. We kind of forced that bad boy back, but he does have healing, so you got to be careful about that. Now, back in the pits here, fighting's going quite well. The White Dwarf is certainly kicking some butt, backed up with Felix Jaeger here and Karagul, his mighty sword, are able to outduel Astrogoth and send him packing. So that mighty elf is going to be, Keebler elf here is going to be forced to run. He totally looks like one of those, right? Like a villainous one. But Grombrindle and him, they're pretty similar in terms of dueling capabilities, but Astrogoth is much quicker and of course has magic. So that's the one thing you need to watch out for. The Dwarf Warrior is going to be moving up to do battle against the Infernal Ironsworn. Blasting charges have done some nasty damage. In the backfield, we've had some good engagements. We were able to catch the Bull Centaur renders. We're getting them with the machine gun here on the Skyhammer, putting some big hurt on them. And more importantly, the Bale Taurus has been caught. So here the Dragonback Slayers have found the Bale Taurus, and I believe they do fire damage, yeah, which is, they make things weak to fire. Okay, that's good, because the Bale Taurus has a ton of fire resist, if I'm not mistaken, but he's going to be running. Chaos Dwarfs do get the break, so that was a nice pick, taking down the monster, which means that the Skyhammer is going to be free to go. We see the Ironsworn, and we're going to be delivering some sweet grudging right here, guys, as the bombardment's going to be coming down. Boom! Big shot right on the Infernal Ironsworn. That is some fat, thick damage, and that felt good because that's a super elite unit. Now, the character fight, not going bad. Of course, we do see Gordas getting very low, and the Infernal Castellan is also quite beat up, as Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, basically just fighting these guys 3v1. So hopefully Felix is going to be able to get some damage. We do, and the Castellan most likely going to be shattering here if Felix doesn't take it down. And Felix Jaeger with this field chair, baby. Now they're going to be turning around, maybe starting to try and take down this Goblin here. So big macro look at the battlefield. Anticity does do a good job taking down my cannon here with some of his Goblin laborers. That's very cost effective, and some of the Bull Centaurs have started running rampant in the backfield. And one of the things I started to notice at this point in the game is I didn't have the best answers against his Infernal Ironsworn, like his elite troopers. But here we do drop another smoke bomb. Unfortunately, Astrogoth does come in and is able to get Felix pushed away from the army in tandem with a really nice charge coming in from the Bull Centaurs. So Felix Jaeger is going to be running for the hills. He is certainly in a little bit of danger, and that is really strong because Felix is quite good against armored infantry. He's got good weapon strength, bonus versus infantry, armor piercing. What's not to love? So Grombrindle's going to be trying to help, but old chicken legs here, he's a little bit too quick. We're trying to suppress him. I have my machine gun popping him, and eventually he does close the distance. And he does the big fancy attack there. Felix gets absolutely clobbered by that hammer. And once again, Astrogoth probably going to be able to finish the job, I would imagine. Grombrindle closing the distance, but yeah, he's probably going to get it. Felix, does he get away? Looks like that attack did miss. Grombrindle does connect with another attack here. Taking a look at the remnants of both armies, I do have a lot of Slayers. So I have 67 Slayers right here. I have my cannon crew, which might be able to come back. Couple rallying Dwarf Warriors and Miners with blasting charges. We do have Rangers back here, as well as Dragonback Slayers. So we both have a fair amount of stuff for Anticity. He does have several units of Infernal Ironsworn, some Chaos Dwarf Warriors, more Infernal Ironsworn over here, which I do like quite a bit. Makes me think that, in this matchup, maybe going for more anti-infantry artillery could be good, but the fear of the Magma Cannon is real. Obviously, you guys didn't see it in this game, but Magma Cannons are really devastating against Dwarvish infantry. So Slayers move in, and Gordas is very low. He's shaken, and we're having a little bit of Benny Hilling here as these two characters prepare to duel. Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, versus Astrogoth, but Astrogoth, of course, is going to be fleeing the scene, knowing that he will not win this fight against the White Dwarf. It's crazy. Astrogoth only costs 1,800. He has 7,000 HP, 60 speed, good magic, good abilities. He's very good. You guys are going to be seeing him probably a lot once we get into tournament play, assuming he doesn't get nerfed or something like that. But Astrogoth fleeing the scene, able to juke. Dragonback Slayers trying to hunt down the old Bull Centaurs, but they are able to outmaneuver me a little bit. And now in the backfield, I am using the dreaded Skyhammer to try and ram into these Chaos Dwarfs, which is pure desperation, basically. But it's gotten 1,700 value. The Skyhammer was really good. A couple of these Rangers going to be fleeing. We got 26 movement speed against 33, so we should be able to kite them a little bit. While these Rangers will also be trying to shoot the Ironsworn in the back. But they have silver shields, and the big hammer is coming down. And thankfully, I was able to mostly dodge that with the Dragonback Slayers. They got away. Very close stuff. And we do pile in and give a bully beat down to these Chaos Dwarf Warriors. So the grudging continues, guys. The Duel of Fates is upon us. Bull Centaurs here. Balance of power pretty much dead even. As far as my allied troops go, 309 to 441. Well, the Bull Centaurs are able to clean up quite a bit. That's the one advantage the Chaos Dwarfs have as well, right? They can clean up quite a bit on the battlefield with their mobility, whereas the Dwarves are going to be kind of more at the mercy of their opponent's mobility. But again, Dwarves, I would say that there's a lot of comparisons that can be made between the two factions. Overall, I would probably say, I don't know, Dwarves are actually really strong in the meta right now. I think Chaos Dwarves, they don't have anything that's egregiously overtuned. I would say that Astrogoth is really good. He could be borderline, and yeah, there's not too much else that's really that bonkers. They have a lot of good units, really strong stuff. But yeah, I'm so excited to dive into them and really kind of learn how they play. Grombrindle going to be hunting down Astrogoth here. Dragonback Slayers also looking for their prize. On the backside here, the Skyhammer is going to be in mortal combat here with the Infernal Ironsworn. And was it able to get any more value? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like it probably didn't do any damage whatsoever. So he is able to punish those Rangers. And all I really have left are Slayers, which was a little bit scary. A lot of Infernal Ironsworn everywhere, man. These guys are around. We have the Bull Centaur still rampaging. Thankfully, Slayers are pretty good against them. Astrogoth sitting at about 3,000 HP. Grombrindle sitting at 5.8. Grombrindle, I think, has about 6k HP. He's no slouch. He's certainly a very, very tanky fighter here, as he's going to be trying to settle some grudges here with some of his foul cousins. And he's a good tool against him. He's a great armor-piercing character. In the distance, you see the Skyhammer just coming down, battling Astrogoth, trying to keep him from getting back to the fight, letting Grombrindle shine a little bit longer. And then the White Dwarf takes down a Bull Centaur as well. He's been an absolute monster this game. As Anticity did cast the hammer there, but I think it was a little bit of a misclick, maybe, or maybe he was trying to get the Dragonback Slayers? Yeah, maybe he was. I did try and pull back and dodge it anyways, but the fight's looking a little bit scary. Chaos Dwarf certainly taking over this game, as the Infernal Ironsworn numbers are quite plentiful. I don't have any more bombardment runs. I do have some Dwarf Warriors making their way back in, but the Bull Centaurs probably have gotten great value. Only 900, give or take, but they should be able to clean up anything that tries to come back here. So we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding while both armies posture here in the fourth quarter of the game. All those Slayers did get taken out by the Infernal Ironsworn, they're Iron Breakers, guys. They're basically Chaos Dwarf Iron Breakers. So yeah, they're not messing about. And they do have the Contempt ability. If you guys don't know how Contempt works, it basically means that any nearby like Labor or Goblin units are going to be getting a leadership buff. It's like Cathay's Harmony, essentially. So Dragonback Slayers, and what a perfect way to fulfill your Slayer Oath, right? Like Slayers basically just want to go down in a fire of glory fighting their most hated foe. And this is perfect for the Dragonback Slayers. As Grombrindle continues his karate chops here, Dragonback Slayers is going to be setting their sights on the Centaurs. So I detached from that battle there. I was trying to hunt down the Centaurs a little bit. We do get a slow on them, so we do use the old Flash Bomb from Grombrindle, which is a targeted ranged slow. I do think Thoric is hands down the strongest choice, but Grombrindle I think could be good in a couple matchups with his ability to have a ranged slow and his good combat prowess. He's definitely no joke. So the Bull Centaur is going to be getting karate chopped by Dragonback Slayers pretty hard, many of them being dragged down. But yeah, there goes the Skyhammer finally. And that's pretty much going to be GG. It's going to be army losses pretty soon. Dragonback Slayer is going to be looping back and around. Astrogoth and his little chicken legs just running, and he is going to be hunting those Dragonback Slayers with all his chaff units. The hammer comes in, and Grombrindle isn't going to be able to carry, because Astrogoth's a really good fighter too. He can fight Grombrindle head up in a fight, and it would be pretty even actually. So taking a look here. Grombrindle 1900, Astrogoth about 3,000 value. Really good with his hammers and his mobility. Felix didn't do bad. Felix was good in the initial duel. Without Felix, I would have lost those initial duels and the game would have been scary. Slayers, obviously, I think are staples in this matchup, with Fireborn being an issue and Centaurs. You need something that can stop them. The one thing I'm a little bit on the fence about are the cannons. They didn't do bad. They both paid for themselves just barely, but part of me thinks Gyrocopter spam would be good here. Because Gyrocopters, it seems Chaos Dwarves might struggle with those a little bit, and doing like a more aggressive build like that. I don't know, it's hard to say. My Dwarf Infantry got annihilated, but that's to be expected. I was sending like 500 gold cost infantry against super elite, 1,400 gold, like chosen level infantry, right? We see 2,100 value, 1,400 value, and 1,000. Those Ironsworn are no joke. But as far as the matchup goes, it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot to explore, a lot to discover. I have a feeling that at the end of the day, it might be slightly Chaos Dwarf favored, in Domination at least. In Land Battle, I have no idea. There's a lot to explore. But in Domination, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. The mobility is really, really nice. And Chaos Dwarves they have a lot of good anti-infantry tools and mortars. So if they're on maps with like line of sight, where cannons can't direct fire, they might be able to really do some punishment with like a Dreadquake mortar against Chaos or against the Dwarf. So super fun match. Anticity played super well. Good to see him playing again. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more action soon. Make sure to check out his channel, although I don't know if I think he's going to be streaming campaigns. So make sure to head on over there. He also said he's going to play in some tournaments like from a hobby perspective and just kind of, rekindle the passion. So I'm quite excited to see him playing. All right, guys, that's it for today. Take care of yourselves. And the grudge will satisfy this grudge eventually. We'll get those Chaos Dwarfs. GG.